Javonte. We're going to be talking about injuries. And this is how much I like Javonte. I have a bunch of different cards of Javonte Williams, one of my favorite running backs in the NFL, out for the entire season. We're going to talk about his injury. We're going to talk about more injuries. We're going to talk about it into the redraft and dynasty aspects. So if you're not looking for dynasty aspects, that's all right. We're going to be going through both of it here. We're going to start off with Javonte because I want to get through this kind of heartbreak here because Javonte is one of my favorite running backs in dynasty fantasy football. And this year I thought it was going to be a little bit of a 50-50 kind of split in the beginning. We were going to see 60-40 and eventually 70-30, and we were going to see him start to be unleashed, which with Melvin Gordon's fumbling problems, I feel like that was going to be very soon. It could have been next week, the week after, that it was going to start going into the 70-30 split. Javonte Williams has a knee injury. Right off the bat, we think, okay, maybe it could just be LCL. Then they come out, it's a significant injury. And it didn't, at first, I've done plenty of research with knee injuries and sports injuries and stuff because I've done 8 years of schooling, lots of it based off of injuries. And I looked, I was like, maybe it's not an ACL, maybe we can just hope. But then I remember the J.K. Dobbins kind of injury, and I was like, it kind of looks the same. And I'm like, I really hope not. I hope it's not the ACL, LCL, and it was. It just kind of sucks that is the case. So Javonte Williams out for the entire year. Where does this put him in Dynasty? I mean, you can't have him for the 2022 season, so it's going to move him down a spot or two. It just will, because when you don't have a running back that is in his prime, you're just going to have other running backs like Najee Harris versus Javonte. You're going to have that shift and go, okay, well, Najee Harris now might have that little jump, or Swift versus Javonte. If you have that battle in Dynasty, it's like, well, Swift's going to come back in a couple of weeks. Javonte's going to be out for the entire season. So, and we don't know what Javonte, we don't know how he's going to recover. We hope that it's well with injuries. But any of these long-term injuries, they just scare me because you even see J.K. Dobbins. He's starting to get back into the fold, but it's been a year plus, and that was a preseason injury. A year plus now it's been 4 weeks, and he hasn't necessarily looked quite 100% still with a very similar type of injury. His knee issue was ACL plus other damage that went on. So Javonte, droppable in redraft, but in Dynasty, we're just going to end up probably moving him down a spot or two. I think that I hope he comes back. If we hear things of him not coming back, I think ACLs are going to be it's not Achilles. If it's Achilles or some sort of major injury like Lewis Seen, if you missed that Vikings injury and that defender, I mean, you're talking about that would put him in a category of extreme danger. Achilles is much more dangerous than what I consider the ACL. All right. Cordell Patterson. We're going to get into some of these players that they're hurt, but they're not going to be hurt for long term. So Cordell Patterson, IR, 4 weeks minimum. But another knee kind of cleanup. They say minor procedure, which is what we were hoping for, Javonte Williams. Cordell Patterson, not droppable. Just put him in your IR, and if you don't have an IR spot, you are putting him on your bench. For Dynasty, this might not be a bad time actually to buy for if you can get a second. I mean, because he was doing well. If you can throw a second-round pick out there and try to get Patterson, if you're a contender, or if you're somebody that lost Javonte, or lost Swift, or lost even Jonathan Taylor, like if you can survive that next four weeks without a running back, I think that this is a great time to buy Patterson because we're going to see Huntley, we're going to see a little bit of Tyler Algier. I think Tyler Algier is actually the pickup here of the two running backs. I think Tyler Algier is a better running back than Huntley, and so I think Algier is going to be the pickup to get if you're in redraft. And in Dynasty, I'm not really buying Algier because he's just kind of a short-term rental. And anything that I think Patterson's going to come back, take that number one spot. And not only that, I think they're going to draft a running back that's going to be much higher. So I don't really see long-term value for Algier here. So we're going to go through Jonathan Taylor, ankle sprain. I honestly think that Jonathan Taylor is going to come back in a week or two here, so I'm not super concerned here, and this doesn't change anything, and I know he's ranked 24th or whatever in running backs, and this doesn't change my opinion on Dynasty. I think he is the running back one overall in Dynasty. I mean, no running back has even taken claims that, hey, I'm going to do much better than that, and so I know CMC is doing pretty high points per game basis with considering what he's had, but I'm still taking Jonathan Taylor and the age versus CMC easily. I mean, yeah, for sure. Tua and his concussion, again, redraft. I think redraft he's droppable in 10, 12 team leagues. I think Tua is droppable. If you're in a pinch, if you can put him on the bench, sure. But I mean, there's so many good quarterbacks out there. So if you end up can't, and this could be an issue that prolongs into the season where, yeah, it's 1 week, maybe it's 2 weeks, or what happens if he gets hurt again? There's a chance that he could get hit and not be a hard hit, and all of a sudden he gets reconcussed. And so, Tua dynasty-wise, I still think he is into that high-end QB2 range. I don't have him drop much because of this concussion issue per se. I mean, he's going to have Hill. He's going to have Waddle. I mean, the dynasty rate, this doesn't change much. The only one really here is Javonte moving down a couple spots. Turf toe for Treylon Burks. This hurts for a redraft. It really does. Droppable? No, but I mean, this could be a 4 or 6 week injury. It really could. And so that could be potentially an issue. And so Treylon Burks, if you look at dynasty-wise, he's behind the likes of Drake London and Garrett Wilson, and that gap has just been separating more and more as weeks go by. And part of that has been injury, and part of that has been performance as well. And so a couple wide receivers to note: Jahan Dotson, hamstring, week or two. Doesn't change anything. Just know that he might be out for a week or two. A little bump up for Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel while he's gone. Jamison Crowder, broken ankle. If you have not yet, buy Isaiah Mckenzie. He is somebody that I love as a deep sleeper in Dynasty. And if Jamison Crowder is gone for the rest of the year, I still bet I'm going to cough. Then Isaiah Mckenzie is somebody I am trying to buy. I think he's going to be a great. Well, I think him and Gabriel Davis' season might not be too far off. And you can't buy Gabriel Davis just because of what he did at the end of last year. And even that first week, I think that people were like, oh, he's been hurt and stuff like that. But Isaiah Mckenzie looks good. And you saw Josh Allen a ton. Target Cole Beasley a ton, if I can complete that sentence. And then just other injuries. Swift, not changing his dynasty. Just know that he's just banged up a bunch, and he's going to be gone for a redraft. Again, I'm not changing him much either. I think he's going to be gone until his bye week, and then he's going to come back, and I think he's going to be healthy. That's going to give him a full month in the calendar to become better and healthy. And then Keenan Allen re-aggravated his hamstring, apparently. I mean, that's the only reason why he would be declared as out now that he was coming back in. And so Keenan Allen is somebody that in Dynasty, I think this is a great time to buy him. I mean, because I think he's still going to have a good couple of years with him. I think until that, like, Adam Thielen type A, I think Keenan Allen could easily perform good the next 2 years. And so I'm trying to buy Keenan Allen here. And even in redraft, if you're a winning team and you're like, hey, I can take on somebody that has a hamstring issue, and I know hamstring issues are very, very dangerous, but something to definitely think about doing, because Keenan Allen, when he comes back, especially in PPR, you're talking about 8, 10 catches, it seems like, or 10 targets, and you're getting 6 to 8 catches usually consistently, and he's wide receiver 12 on a points per game basis pretty much every year. It doesn't matter what year. That's what he does. All right? So again, this is Marcus Dynasty with Dads with my little cry of Javonte Williams. I'm still sad. I'm still really, really sad. All right, peace out. Take care.